Since making it out here to Utah in my van, I've made it to 3 new national parks, and am currently headed to my 4th, Canyonlands National Park, where I have some ambitious plans that may not pan out the way I wanted them to. I'm freaking out. I'm so stupid, dude. I finally made it to Moab, and my morning basically consisted of doing some laundry and cleaning the van, just preparing everything because tomorrow I'm going to be heading into a very remote part of Canyonlands National Park to do an overnight backpacking trip. But that means today is my final day here in civilization, so I'm taking advantage, getting prepared, and I'm gonna go spend a little bit more time in town. Before heading out to the middle of nowhere, I stopped at Moab Garage Co. to enjoy a final meal of a waffle and some avocado toast, and finished uploading some files for work at the local library. Then it was time to start driving off into the desert. Moab is the largest town near Canyonlands, but the park itself is so large and rugged that it has multiple entrances and 3 different sections called districts, all separated by the 2 rivers that flow through the park, the Green River and the Colorado River. The most accessible section of the park is this one to the north, the Island in the Sky District, which has paved roads and shorter trails. The least accessible section to the west is called the Maze District, which requires 4x4 and high clearance to basically get anywhere. And then to the east, there's the Needles District, and that's where I'm headed now. Just the drive to the trail itself is long and intimidating. I have been driving for a little over an hour, and I still have about a half hour until I'm at the trailhead. And, yeah, I'm just completely surrounded by canyons on all sides, and this feels as isolated gets. There are a few cars, passing every so often, but, yeah, nothing like the other parks so far. Okay, I stopped off at the Canyon Visitor Center, got my permits, and I'm gonna head over the trail now. The trail I'm headed to is known as the Chesler Park Loop, an incredibly isolated but very impressive trail filled with the rock spires that give the Needles District its name. This is my Gorpcore ass fit. I typically don't wear stuff like this, so we'll see how that goes if I just tear this off after 10 minutes, but it's about 2 miles to the campsite. I'm gonna drop this stuff down and then continue around the loop before I spend the night out here. The plan is to hike over to Elephant Canyon, drop my camping gear and extra water, and move deeper into the canyons until I reach Chesler Park and the Joint Trail, a highly isolated canyon that's only accessible via overlanding in a vehicle with 4x4 capabilities or by hiking in. Then the rest of the loop will take me out of the Chesler Park area and back to my campsite at Elephant Canyon, where I'll stay for the night before returning to the van in the morning. But now that I was on the trail, I was suddenly overcome with an unexpected feeling of anxiety that literally stopped me in my tracks. I just feel so fucking lame, dude. I planned to go see this cool remote trail and stuff, and I'm not even like a half mile in and I'm like freaking out. I'm so stupid, dude. And I don't know why this is happening. I know how comfortable I'll be if I go back. Like, backpacking with other people is fine. It's not as nerve-wracking, but for some reason, it's so bad when I'm by myself. There's nothing I hate more than feeling incompetent, and right now, that's pretty much all I was feeling. I just feel like I'm getting weaker and less adventurous somehow, and it scares me. Somehow I have found it in me to continue, but like only under the guise that I'm gonna go to the tent site and like come right back. Yeah, there it is. The Needles District. It's a hard decision. I came all this way. Who knows when I'll be out here again. But in the end, I knew that I had started way too late in the day because I totally underestimated how long it would take to drive out here. I was tired and wasn't feeling up to a challenge. Still unsure if I'm gonna continue, but for now I'm just enjoying myself, and I'll stop when it's no longer fun. Okay, I've made it to Elephant Canyon, and even though I feel accomplished for having done so, I do think I might just go right back to the van. Again, I feel like a total piece of shit, but I know that I will not have time to do like the Chesler Park loop after I get set up and drop my gear. Considering how long it took me to get out here, almost 2 hours, but I will say a lot of that time was probably spent crying, so I will probably head back to the van so I can do that before it gets dark, because I think my decision has been made for me. I do just hate myself a little bit though. Don't know how else to put that, but it's completely my fault. Put the Gorp fit back on because why not? It's nothing's very serious at this point, so. Oh wow. I don't know if it's even visible for you guys, but there's a rainbow over there on my way back. Hopefully that means I'm making the right decision. Well, I just ate. I ruined my best pants too. There's a huge friggin' rip. Okay, I'm back, and I still have about 2 hours to drive to get out of here, so I'm gonna start moving. Right now, I am very relieved to just be spending the night here in the van, but I know that later I will be equally, if not more, disappointed in myself for not just having stayed out there. But I started way too late in the day, and honestly, kind of feel like I sabotaged myself a little bit. Especially since I've done plenty of backpacking trips before, by myself and with others, but I just feel like I couldn't handle it this time. Not to mention feeling like I missed a huge opportunity while I was out here just because I would have been a little uncomfortable for a while. For right now though, I am very comfortable back here in the van, so I will see you in the morning. Even though it feels like I didn't really see all that much of Canyonlands, I did end up staying here last night outside of the park, which is still an incredible spot, but just not in Elephant Canyon like I had originally intended. Need to head back to Moab today, no matter what, because tomorrow I am starting work again, but I will also be splitting my time between working and going into Arches National Park, which is my 5th and final park here in Utah. This isn't the first time I've failed to properly visit a national park that I ended up driving thousands of miles away for, but the disappointment hits all the same. Canyonlands is massive and rugged and worth appreciating, and I want to spend meaningful time in these places before time makes them less meaningful. So, with that said, this is just another place I'll end up having to revisit.